One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Hey, what's up? This is Mike Fenoya, host of Amigos Podcast here on the Osiris Network. What is Amigos Podcast? Well, I am a stand-up comedian, writer for True TV's Impractical Jokers, and a music freak. So I invite my pals to come talk music, comedy, and everything in between. So if you want to come hang, we'd love to have you. Thank you.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongSummerCamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongSummerCamp.com/simple. Check it out.
$2.50 to $5 a beer when you get us, that's for a domestic piece of crap.
That's why you should stay home.
Stay home. Home is where the heart is. If you want anything, all shopping's at your fingertips. Here's your fat chair. Don't
Isn't
move.
it crazy how all of a sudden, like, now cannabis is like to your door and like
Everything's to your
deliver, yeah,
door.
right? Alcohol, all the, we'll bring cigarettes, like
Shit they would never
what?
allow before.
You want heroin? You got it right to your house.
One-stop shop.
Hey, now, No Simple Heads family. What's happening?
What's up?
What's going on, everybody? We're here. It's Sunday, and we're heads, and we're talking. What's going
I'm
on?
actually an entire body.
Well, as far as they know, I'm just,
She's lying. She's a big floating head.
yeah. And she's
The
talking. Look at
secret's
her
out.
go. Look at she's bouncing back and forth.
secret's
Her
out.
Eyes are rolled back in her head.
Yeah.
So tell me all about the TV commercials, Apple.
TV commercials? They're lame.
All right.
They suck.
And so
That's
next
the
week
part
on
of
Heads
television
Talking.
that's screwed.
No, you were
it.
just telling me how weird everything was getting.
Well, I'm not used to watching commercial. I've heard you guys say before because you watch some network stuff or you watch stuff without recording it. I always record stuff so I don't have to watch commercials. Mm-hmm. And I was watching the series Devs, DEVS it's on Hulu, and you can buy it on Prime. It's free on Hulu. And it's really cool. It's with Nick Offerman, and it's kind of it's a trip. It's like I don't know if it's like really future, but they like are building a thing that sees into the future and in the past, and there's a lot of kind of espionage and things going on around it. But the Hulu account that I'm using is not
Hulu
the
account.
ad-free one. So there's commercials, and all the commercials I've seen today, it's like everything's. I mean, I get it, or they're trying to encourage people to stay home, but it's kind of creepy. It's like programming. Home is where the heart is. Home is safe. Home is happy. Everything's at home, and then shopping at your fingertips.
dude.
You can get anything delivered.
I don't know. Mel and I think we're watching Schitt's Creek or something the other night, and we were watching a commercial, and it was like for Little Caesars.
Our daughter?
Yeah. Our daughter's commercial or
Yes.
State Farm commercial. No.
I still haven't seen that.
Jake
yet.
from Safe. We've seen it several times now. She's got 2 different ones.
Okay.
But it was a commercial for Little Caesars Pizza. And this is like 2 weeks ago. So this is like literally a week and a half after all of this started. And they were already like, Little Caesars comes to your door in a 425-degree oven. You don't have to touch it. You can do no-touch pickup.
Not touched by hands.
No. And Domino's, same thing. Like within a week, all the commercials on TV changed. Like they had them waiting. It was yeah, it was.
They're prepared.
Well, me and you were talking about like because Sydney's in the business, we know how long it takes for stuff to happen. It takes a long time. Like she did that State Farm commercial months ago, and it came out
Like 3 months after she did it.
Yeah, 3 to 4 months after she did it.
yeah,
And
you don't throw together a quality commercial in 2 days or a week.
No,
not for
and
those
like-
major
and-
corporations.
And think about this: like we're all quarantined, but they have to do a casting call, and have people. Did they just pick the first dude who walked in the door? Like,
Did they-
6 feet? Yeah, fine. Come on, let's go. Film it right now. Okay, cut it. Go. Like,
Well, and some of it, like I saw what you're talking about, like the Domino's one. I mean, that just looks like tricky editing, kind of.
no, but the
Like
one I'm
they-
talking
like-
about was a dude. It might have been. You know what? I take it back. It was not the Little Caesars one. It was for Burger King, and the dude was standing there. It was like this, 20-something white kid, clean cut food service worker guy, and he's like, "We care about your health and safety. Burger King delivers to your door. You can eat our shitty food right from your house." Like, and I was just like, that's when I said to Mel, like, how the hell did they cast that fast? Like,
I don't know.
this whole thing is a trip.
Twilight
Yeah,
Zone. That's what I
What,
feel
Apple?
like.
What's going on,
I
man?
should say I just got a text. This is great. People are starting to lose it. Just at my work, I'm just getting a heads up from my boss that a customer got pissed at another customer at our store and and waited for the guy to get out of his car and then smashed his head into the ground.
Awesome.
And just
Happy news.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Things are getting weird out there. We've brought it up several times now about like when you go out, people are like either overly sweet and kind,
Or distrusting.
or the opposite.
A customer mentioned that exact thing to me the other day.
What?
Because now we're counting how many people go into the store, so we have to stand outside with the customers and open up the doors instead of the electronic opening so that everybody can come in. We have to literally open the door for the customers, and so then you start talking to them, and she was just saying that it's so strange. Wait, what were you talking about? Wow.
Right on, babe.
My lead up was too long, and I
You lost your,
I lost
there
my
it
train of
goes.
thought.
Lost
But
your
what were you?
place.
You were
It's-
just talking about.
People being on the edge or not.
either being really nice or not.
Yes,
I know.
that's what she was talking about. She mentioned that she was like, everybody seems happy, but there's like this underlying feeling that they will scratch your eyes out any moment at the same
Yeah.
time. And it's one or like it's gonna be one or the other. It's gonna be a nice smile, or I'm gonna pull your teeth out. And it is there. It's there.
Like today, there's a few people in this. When we went to the store today, there was a few people that didn't have face masks on in the store, and I saw people, the worker, like everybody's just looking at them like
Shaming.
Apple's making
like
a mean
like,
mug.
like angry, not just shaming, but like
Mean
Yeah.
we
mugging
should
them.
do something about this person.
Yeah.
Oh, that you're a bad machine. It just reminds me of Midnight Express, and towards the end of that movie, all the prisoners would walk clockwise around this stone every day in this Turkish prison, and
Oh,
he
and
would
went-
walk. He would walk the opposite way. When he finally popped his cork and lost his shit, right before he escaped, he was walking the other way. And there was one other inmate in there. He's like, "Are you a good machine or a bad machine? What are you doing?" Yeah, they're a bad machine, not wearing their mask. Like, I get it. We did a YouTube live with Amigos podcast and Daddy Unscripted, Tim Wheaton and
Mike Fenoya.
Mike Fenoya. And Mike gave me a really different perspective on this whole pandemic situation.
It's where you're at.
It is. So his wife is a nurse practitioner, and because of COVID, she has been assigned to the intensive care unit in New York. So she's in the thick of it. And, Mike was like, "So how are things out there?" And we're like, "Oh, Apple's like, not much has changed for me." And I was like, "Well, it's kind of rough. I'm working from home." We're like, "How was it for you?" And he's like, "Dude, it's fucking hell on earth over here. Like, everything is shut down. People are dying. They're burying people in the fucking parks."
Yeah,
Like,
they're not going out
no.
back there.
And he was talking about his wife, and we were discussing music. And I said, if a festival is allowed to happen this summer, I'm going. Like, if the powers that be decide that public gatherings can happen, I'm not going to stay home because I'm scared. But then he was like, "Well, I agree with you. I know where you're coming from, but from my perspective and what I've seen, it would run the risk of overwhelming the healthcare workers."
Yeah.
And it didn't cross my mind before talking to him.
Yeah,
Well,
like you
that's what
said,
the
him and
whole-
his wife were driving, and they saw a bunch of people out, and she was like, "Oh, great! Like nobody's taking it. This means I'm out."
Yeah, they were all at the beach.
And they're working until they drop. Almost, it sounds like. I mean, there's only so many healthcare workers, and they're working long shifts and exposing themselves to sickness, and that'd be hard to see if you were doing that, seeing people out frolicking in the park and. What do you say? He said they drove by the beach, and the beach was packed.
People were barbecuing and playing volleyball and shit. And she was like, "Oh, it's nice to see that," like sarcastic. Great. That means I'm going to be working my ass off.
No matter what you think in this, it's really hard. It's just a challenging situation to get through because, those first responders that are working on sick people, there's nothing like that.
No, I've done it.
Anytime, whether it's a pandemic or not, but it's especially scary during times where there's a lot of unwell or you're in jeopardy. That's super scary. And then on the other side, you've got people that are going through mental changes because they're at home and having to deal with things that they've never dealt with before. That's a real thing too. So now we've got mental, stuff going on. We've got physical stuff going. Like there's just everybody's dealing with something.
Yeah.
Everything's very stressed.
Yeah, everyone's stressed. It's not more or less. Maybe what you're doing is a little bit heavier, but everyone is feeling some type of unrest inside.
Totally. And as human beings in the United States right now, we've been forced into it's like a forced retreat. You're forced
Retreat. That's a
well.
loose
A
word.
retreat's like a
Whoa.
retreat's like a nice thing.
No, like a retreat in like when you go on a retreat. I'm not talking about the nice parts of it. I'm talking about like you're alone with the people that you're
like retreat.
No, not like that. No.
Like no retreat, no surrender.
No.
Like in between there somewhere, like a
No.
retreat with the spa, like your nails did.
No. Like when me and Mel went to the beach and we were in a hotel room for 2 days together. Like that.
Like you retreat inside.
Yeah, like you're in a retreat, stuck with only the people that you live with for a
So
certain
it's a
period of time.
treat that's already
Okay,
been
anyway,
used,
my
and then
point
it's
And then
is
you
retreat.
you re-give.
You're making this very Pam.
oh my God.
Oh,
My point is, it's making people have to face stuff that they wouldn't normally have to face. Like, we are busy with the things in our life that we do. We go to shows, we listen to music, we go out to dinner, we go shopping, we go to the beach, we fucking go to work, we blah, blah, a million things, whatever
Yeah.
your deals are. And then all that comes to a halt. And if you're in a relationship or you're married, then now you're in the house with your partner. Or you're a parent, now you're in the house with your kids 5-7 days a week and they're not going to school. And so people are finding out all different kinds of things, the full spectrum of stuff. They're finding out they don't like their kids, but they love them. They're finding out that they really enjoy being around their kids, that it's a blast, that it's their favorite fucking thing. They don't want to be around their spouse. They can't wait for this to be over so they don't have to be around their spouse anymore. Or the other end of it, where they love their spouse and love spending time with them. Point being, it's this like pressure cooker that we've all been placed into, and in that time that like you have a decision to make of what you want to get out of it, because it's up to us what happens in our little universe inside of our home. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that's our sphere of control has been shrunk down to your four walls and your roof on your house at this point.
Yeah.
So what do you want to get out of it? What is the thing? Like you just hurry up and so we can start being distracted again? Or do we want to actually do something with it? Like I thought that was really cool what Frasco was saying when we were taking a shower, Mel, about Andy was in the bathroom with us and he was like
Coaching
you
us
guys
while we're-
go. Aaron's so prepared.
Andy's a smiling. Hey guys, you know what I think you should do?
He was talking about making a list of all the things that you always wanted to do when you were a kid.
He was like, not yoga or spiritual stuff. Like, doesn't got to be like that deep. Like, stuff that you wanted to do, like, to help yourself later on, like learn a language
It's
or
like 3 weeks, man. You could get a C on the fucking test in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I remember finding a list like that I had years ago of all the things that I was ever interested in and wanted to try or wanted to do. And it was so rad to like, oh shit, I forgot that I always wanted to do that. Like, I remember one of the things was handwriting analysis. That was one of the things on my list that I loved.
Can you give me 3 or 4 things that would be on that list now?
Right now.
Yeah. Apple, start thinking of yours too, because I'm going to ask
3
you
or 4
too.
lists that it would be on my
From being a kid?
Just period. Three things that you would like if you weren't working right now. 3 things that you would want to like pick
flamenco
up.
dancing was one on my list that I actually picked up when I started working or moved here, but then I broke my toe and then that stopped that. And
Okay, so
maybe like learning how to use my sewing machine and like doing stuff like that.
okay.
So yeah.
So flamenco dancing, sewing, and
handwriting analysis.
handwriting analysis. You're an eclectic person.
One of them was parachute or like jumping out of a plane.
Jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
Apple.
I want to be a cowboy fireman.
Right on. Okay, Darwin. No.
I want to be a princess.
Fuck.
What have you always wanted to do?
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Not really. Like if you
So
were like a multi-billionaire and you didn't have to go to work
if you could
anymore.
retire right now
Yeah.
without money being an object,
Just
like
I'd
what
have,
would you
like, the
take up?
Coolest media room ever.
No, no.
Not purchasing things, like to enrich yourself or your life, like
I don't
study
know.
abroad.
I've never
or
wanted to learn another
sailing.
language. I guess play the bass. I have a bass and I just noodle, or I've always just noodled on it. And I play the bass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's not a lot of thinking of, because if I want to do something, I want to do it. I don't.
Well, that's not true. We don't have infinite amount of time and money.
Yeah.
But I mean, even if I did, there's not a lot of things I want to. I'll tell you one thing.
Apple's
If I had
simple.
the money, so I mean, I'd have always wanted to have a wood shop.
There we go.
Like a professional wood shop, but that's a lot of money.
Okay, but woodworking is something.
Yeah. I'd love to have a wood shop and build furniture.
Yeah,
Love
that's
that.
that's a
Yeah.
job
fucking
too.
rad.
That's a career. That's a hobby. It's fun. It's fun taking wood and turning it into something.
Yeah, it is.
I got a fucking.
But you
list.
I got a bone to pick with people out there with paint.
Uh-oh.
To quit painting your beautiful wood. Wood should be stained. It shouldn't be painted over with paint. That's all I got to say.
Wow.
It's just when there's beautiful wood and it gets painted over.
That's all you had to say, man.
Well, your response to it, I had a rebuttal there. So you're like, wow, okay.
Well, I didn't know you felt so strongly about
Just
paint
look
on
around.
wood.
Look, imagine if everything in this room was painted white. It'd be fucking ugly.
Yeah,
All of
we'd-
this
we'd put
beautiful
posters all over
table, the beautiful wood walls. Wood's beautiful and natural.
I agree, man.
Okay, that's it. And don't set your drinks on wood.
No.
Respect the wood.
Okay. All right, I won't.
I have
yeah.
I have a I have the non-sweat cup. So
I have a list 10,000 miles long. There's so many things. I want to play the piano and the guitar and the violin and the trumpet and the saxophone. I want to learn to play congas. I want to learn to speak Spanish and Czechoslovakian. I'm not joking. I'm serious right now.
No, we're
I
letting
wanna-
you go.
I was
just gonna say, I'm not-
Do you want us to
I
give you
want
a
to
hard
learn
time?
how to bake every kind of bread. I want to learn become a master baker.
okay, he has been sitting around the house. That's so fair. This sounds like this has been going through your head for the last month.
No, this is all stuff that I think about regularly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bigger list too. I just don't remember a lot of them from back in the day. But right now, I don't.
I would love to learn how to be a mechanic so that I could work on my car no matter what happened to it. I would love to do survival shit, like know how to start a fire with no matches and gut a deer and make shelter in the woods and what berries you can eat. And I'd love to take classes to do that. I think that would be rad. So I'm going to do all that right now during
You
this
should.
quarantine. Every one of those things.
Right
when I
on.
come out of this, I'm
I was
going
gonna
to be
say
a
a lot of those are
Czechoslovakian
like
speaking.
careers that take a long time
Yeah,
to
of
learn.
course.
Right now, the biggest thing I want to do is learn to relax to the fullest.
You've been doing a good job.
I
And I
have
think
been.
that's a hard thing for a lot of us that are motivated people that want to do good things in life and to achieve a measure of success for themselves and all that. It's hard to slow down. It's tough to put on the brakes.
Which I guess I'm more in that category of I am like today I got up this morning and it was fucking meditation watching that Samara.
Samsara.
I keep saying Samara.
Samsara.
When you watch Tamara, yeah, Samsara.
There you go, man. You got it.
That's heavy. If nobody out there's seen it, you put that on, especially on my new TV. It's beautiful, and it's also disgusting because it goes through the whole thing. It's like beauty, and then it goes through like the feedlots.
I just
and
mean
it goes
the
through
beauty of the
cinematography and
Yeah.
everything, the way it's put together. It tells a story without a single word the entire time, and the soundtrack to it. But that shit, it was like a drug. After I finished it, I was just like.
You were loopy when we went to go to the store and do stuff. You were a little like, "Whoa, dude!" That was
makes
heavy.
it puts shit in perspective. And that one, I mean, it's older. That was like 9 years ago or something. And I mean, it's been almost a decade since then, and stuff's just gotten worse. You know but it shows that contrast of the beauty and the beast of how we're tearing it up and stuff. But I guess my point of that is like that started my day, and then I came back, and unfortunately it's one thing I have learned to deal with it as I get older. I used to get so mad. Like this time of year, it's beautiful outside. Aaron and Melanie are outside. They're gardening and loving it, breathing the air. I walk outside, my throat seizes up, my eyes start watering because there's pollen on everything.
yeah.
it's covering everything.
So
like
it's
yellow
like,
snow.
okay, I guess I'm, and I got into a show and just like sitting, my legs fell completely asleep because I sit cross-legged a lot on my couch and just lean back, and I was gone.
Apple,
I was in another world.
You, sir, are particularly suited for what's going on right now. This is not like, I'm not talking shit. I'm being serious.
No, you know me well.
Yeah, I'm being serious. Like, this situation that we're all being faced with right now, you personally are the person that will not have a problem with this.
Well, we remember me and Apple were talking on Friday because you were having a hard time on Friday, and we were just sitting out there, and like I was in a good mood because I was off, and we were just talking about how everything is still fine in our
universe.
In our home, we're still doing the same types of things, and all of our relationships are still fine, and it's not uneasy to be.
But Apple knows how to just chill.
I'm the type of person, like I've always said, like if I was in prison, I'd love solitary confinement. It'd be, maybe I shouldn't say it. There's probably people out there who've been there like, yeah, that's what you think.
Yeah, sure,
but,
buddy.
Okay, maybe that's an extreme example.
That's really extreme. You'd fucking freak out.
Yeah, okay, that's but I handle being alone very well. I enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah, when there's TV and food, and you can get up and do what you want and go.
Or it would take away TV and food and stuff. I can be in my room without power with a candle, reading a book for days.
That's true. That's exactly my point.
I can have nothing. I could lay in bed and not necessarily be sleeping, but just like meditating and drifting on and off, and kind of like a drug. I treat most things like a drug. You just got to learn how to bend it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's
so
heavy.
True.
Bodhisattva over here.
Yeah,
he's levitating. Look at him, Mel.
Well, the simpler you make things too, like you just reduce things to its like lowest common denominator. It's like, if you're all right with yourself and you're cool with your thoughts, then who cares about where you're at and where you're thinking these thoughts?
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
I mean,
you're
yes,
not
yes
forward
no.
thinking. You're not thinking about back stuff. You're just you're just.
And I don't do that. Like, that's one thing you've always you agitate yourself.
Yep.
I've never done that. I don't agitate. Outside forces agitate me.
See, and outside shit doesn't really get under my skin too much. We're opposite in that way. You'll be driving.
Ballot.
What's wrong with these drivers? I'm like, what, man?
I don't know. I was driving with you the other day, and you were the same.
For during
you
this,
hadn't even been out, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
during
I'm like,
this, I've been a little on edge for sure, but on the regular, I'm pretty chill driving, and we're kind of opposite, him and I, like that. Like I don't know, man. I do. I agitate myself. I get in my own head and just go to
when you
town.
start watching that media and start reporting to me and Apple and all the stuff that's going on.
I haven't been doing that. I had to stop. That's been the most helpful thing since all this started. Like I'm staying informed. Like I'll check in and then I dip. I'm out.
Yeah, I've started doing that. I woke up this morning and I watched CNN, and I don't stick to one, so nobody can say, oh, Fox is the whatever. I flip back and forth, BBC, whatever. But there's still nothing to report.
Nobody
it's
knows.
the same stuff as days ago. And they keep saying, oh, there's a drop-off. Okay, maybe there's not a drop-off. Maybe there. I mean, nobody knows still.
And
They
that's
just
just
started.
filler.
Well, I talked to Shellen, and her family is in Wuhan.
oh shit, really?
Yeah. And she said, because remember, she was supposed to go there.
Yeah.
And she said that they locked down January 23rd, and they just April 8th lifted the ban. But if you're elderly or a child, you still have to stay home. So basically,
3 months.
that's how long. And there's still restrictions.
Wow. But it exploded there. It according to
Same
I
thing.
was there.
Yeah,
Like
well,
I
same-
fucking know
Same
from
thing
watching TV. I don't know
according
shit.
to news coming from around the world from 1,000 different sources.
Well, she was just saying that they really were able to contain it because they locked the city down. Nobody was able to come in or out for 2.5 months, period. Where with here, we're like, oh, essential workers or all this. We're
going to close 7-Eleven for 2 hours. Yay. Sorry to inconvenience
Easter Sunday,
you.
we won't be open. Nice try, guys. But their culture is much more
intense and controlled and communist.
Well, I was just going to say that's the thing.
Yeah.
They're very controlled.
Communist.
If the government says do something,
They're doing
the result could be death if you don't do what you're told.
It's a
little different here.
I saw a meme today that said, I hope everybody's enjoying their 30-day free trial of socialism. It's like, whoa. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, wait, where's the free health care?
It gets sick and you'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it over here, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one thing I've seen and felt in myself is man, we're spoiled as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of spoiled motherfuckers, man. And I'm including myself in the spoiledness of all of it. We as people are
you're just adding everybody else in so you don't feel so bad.
No, I'm just saying, man. We are.
No,
7-Eleven for
country
2 hours.
is.
Everybody's freaking out because a grocery store has altered hours.
Just wait till the internet crashes.
This is like a literal trip. It really is.
What do you mean?
It's a trip in the sense that you can't make it stop when you want. You just got to go through it. And there's a lot of crazy shit that you can't control right now. You just got to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, just imagine, I was talking to my dad this morning too, and he was talking about, because we're we always talk about, we're all empaths. Most of us are. You feel empathy for people. And we were talking about that. It's like we keep saying too, we have all the entertainment. We have bookcases of books.
Yeah,
we have
beautiful books.
There's a large majority of the population in this country, and others have nothing. Some of them don't even have electricity. And we have, so to complain, they absolutely have nothing. And then they're stuck in a room.
Playing with a popsicle stick and some
together.
toilet paper.
Yeah.
Not even
there's
that.
so many conditions in this world that, we're already bad that,
We're fortunate. That's I feel like that's the biggest theme and lesson and thing that should come out of this is the gratitude for what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what you don't have? Who cares you can't go somewhere? Who cares? But what you do have, you're looking in somebody else's eyes that loves you back. You have company so you don't have to be bored.
Or you have somebody, the internet.
You have somebody bringing you groceries because you can't leave the house. Like, there's so many beautiful things right now. And okay, fine. We've talked about till we're blue in the face about all the sad stuff and whatever. It's weird and conspiracy and real time nurses having crazy shit go on. But we all have something that we can be grateful for.
You know what?
That's huge.
That is huge.
One of the biggest things we have, that's why that's my point. I forgot it was my dad said. We have the privilege of washing our hands.
Ooh.
There's I don't know where he got his number, but it makes, there's billions of people on this planet that do not have clean water. So we say, well, it's as easy as washing your hands. Like, yeah, we don't have clean water.
Yeah.
We can't even wash our fucking hands.
And then if you did have clean water, do you have the access to soap to clean that? And that's the thing. Like, if somebody's doing fine and all of us are doing shitty, that sucks. That's not going to fix the problem of what's going on globally.
Mm-mm. Well, Apple and I were talking about that in the car today.
The ones who can fix it are the ones that created it.
Yep. That's exactly
that 1% that has all the money.
Everybody can do one thing, two things, three things, however many things.
We can try to make a difference.
That's exactly what I said today. Exactly. I was like, us and all 85% of the people on the planet could decide to make a change today, but that other side of things, they're not. They want more. They want more power. They want more money. They want more everything. And like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's one of those like thoughts that I think that like gets jammed in my head. If you have $1 billion, right? You already have $1 billion or $10 billion. What the fuck are you doing trying to get more? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, at what point is it enough?
Because I guess unless you have that type of money, it's equating to power as opposed to just money. So it puts you in a whole other mentality of why you're trying to acquire something.
Well, that's how we got here. Is that right there? So
it's not the only way. Like, when I read that really beautiful thing that Susan wrote, like, all of us, like we were just saying, we're all spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
That's from those corporation billionaires all the way down to the average Joe that buys extra toilet paper so that not everybody in their neighborhood can have toilet paper. Like, we're all doing it. Every single one of us. They're getting more billions of dollars. We're getting more stupid toilet paper. Like, depends on... everybody's acting the same way.
Toilet paper has become moral currency.
Yeah, from the macrocosm to this micro, It's
insane, man. And what you were saying about gratitude, though, is...
I feel like that's the medicine.
That is, man. Like, you and I went for a walk this morning, and just in our neighborhood, there was a couple of really beautiful things. I'll post the picture of them for you guys. You should check it out. I'll post it at No Simple Road, but...
That's the difference I'm talking about.
Somebody made signs, and there's a little store in our neighborhood, like a little neighborhood family-owned place.
And it's called
the Little Store. And somebody just made a sign and stuck it on their front side of their house, and it was like, "Thank you to the little store. Thank you, healthcare workers, and
thank you, essential workers.
Thank you, essential workers, and we're all in this together." And then somebody else, their tree hangs over the sidewalk a little bit, and they taped Reese's peanut butter cup eggs to the tree.
On little pieces of string.
And each one had a note that said, "Happy Easter, sanitized wrapper," for people walking to have a little treat while they were walking by on Easter. Like, that made me...
So
stop.
Everybody can do something. That's what I said. You can do one thing. You can do two things. You can do three. That's what I'm saying. This cute little sign.
Yeah, you can do a kindness.
That's what I'm talking about, because the kindness makes somebody feel good. And so somebody that was actually borderline going to feel shitty but got a cute little chocolate or saw that sign, now they're turned around from a stupid little sign that took you
That-
5 minutes to make.
That chocolate, honest to God, like
was
our walk made my day, but that chocolate was like
it was the cutest thing. We shared a chocolate on
a
Easter.
walk on Easter.
It was
with the sun out.
romantic.
Yeah,
it was
totally.
sweet. It was adorable. It was all of it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not going to change our government. The only way to
Oh
do
my
that is to
Christ.
revolt, take down the system.
Can't do anything.
And
Why
Apple
bother?
just took a shit right on our chocolate. Yeah, man.
No, that is what we can do right now. Is just being kind to each other, like we always do, like our community does. Is being kind to each other. Being, it's what you can do.
Being sweet.
Being sweet. That's the moral to this Heads Talking is be sweet,
Be sweet.
be kind.
Find cute ways to do cute, kind acts.
We've been saying that shit in the Deadhead community for 50 years.
and
Be
it's,
kind.
It's happening. It's still going on. It's still relevant, and it's still needed. It's
Wow.
not. Yeah, it's not like
Yeah,
it
kindness
you
is always
already
needed.
did it. It's like you keep it up.
You don't you don't be kind once.
No.
And then you did it and you're good.
Yep.
You get your badge.
That's it.
I got
No,
my Be
'cause that's
Kind
just some
badge.
bullshit. You get called out on that. You got to live your life kind.
Yeah. Ooh. You got to be kind. Well, you don't have to do anything. You can be a dick too, or
And then you're going to be treated like,
yeah,
whatever.
you
It's
can
like
be
one of
whatever
those-
you want.
What
but
you put into life is what you get out of that. I
Yeah.
thoroughly believe that. That's
I feel like kind is like, even kind is like salt. Salt enhances almost everything. Even in a sweet recipe, they ask for
A
salt.
little salt to
You know?
enhance the flavor.
Exactly. So just tiny little bit here, tiny little. You don't got to do the whole friggin',
You don't got to be
8
Mother
ounces.
Teresa.
You don't got to be Mother Teresa.
Mm-mm.
You can be Aaron Schaefer. You can be Apple. Just
And
being
that's
cute.
why we put this out.
Yeah.
Being kind. So
being
we can
kind,
you guys out there can feel like
being
we're hanging out
loving.
together and you
Yeah.
have something to do. and-
Talking about real stuff, and I'm gonna, Aaron likes to apologize to everybody, but I'll apologize today. Like, I hate talking about this over and over. I don't want you guys to think that this is all we're ever gonna talk about, but I
This is
also
what's
we're
going
being
on.
real.
We said that
Yeah,
last time.
I know. I'm just saying it again
yeah,
because
it is what's happening.
yeah, like I definitely don't want it to be all COVID or
Well, we
Rona
haven't
talk,
COVIDed
but
too much. We're
Yeah.
not talking about the virus
Yeah.
or any of that shit. We're talking about how it's affecting us and
yeah. I know. I'm
and
just
navigating our way through the time that we're in, and that's everybody out there is trying to fucking figure that out right now.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's happening. Period. That's it. That's what. Hey, what'd you do today?
Yeah.
Underneath whatever the fuck you did today, you were trying to figure out how to navigate through quarantine. Welcome to it. So we're talking about it, and
It's what's happening now.
it is what's happening now. The reason I brought up the thing about retreats earlier, when you guys wouldn't let me finish saying what I was going to say.
Oh, wait, retreat. What
actually,
else?
you did
Christ.
finish saying what you were going to say.
I'll
You
shut
stopped it and re-recorded.
what I was getting at was like, for a lot of people, we have like, you feel a certain way and you don't know how to comfort the people around you. Like, you're going through shit, and then your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your kids are going through this at the same time, and you're having your own fucking issues, and then you want to try and comfort the people around you because they're going through shit
Yeah,
too.
it gets-
and you
You
fucking
can be a blundering
you're
idiot.
face planting
It gets
all over the
weird.
place, and shit gets weird.
Perfect example when I came in the kitchen. I came up in the kitchen earlier.
Yeah.
We both there was a tension there for a minute because I come in and Aaron comes in and he just goes, so I guess we're not going to record. And I was like, I've been up and down the stairs several times
I was
today.
like,
You
whoa,
guys are
whoa.
outside doing shit. Then I come up and you're taking a nap. And he's like, well, I thought you were napping in your room. I was like, no, I was watching a show. I was down there. I was available. And it wasn't
wasn't that
I'm making it a little
intense.
more tense than it was, but that was like the underlying thing. Like we're all kind of walking on eggshells. Like everybody's kind of tender right now. I don't want to step on their pincies or something and get them upset. And that's I was sitting on the patio. Aaron came out a couple of minutes after me, after we saw each other in the kitchen. And I was just like, and he's like, what? I was like, we got to keep communication
Apple's
open,
like, I'm
man.
sorry, I didn't mean it to be like that. I was like, dude, I wasn't upset. I just said, are we not gonna do it? I thought you were asleep.
And then the same
Also,
thing.
you could
I
say
came
it
up
different,
earlier
too.
and thought that they were. I thought they were asleep after gardening today, and I
No,
was
I was-
cranky because I couldn't go outside. I heard you guys out laughing. I had to turn my TV up so I didn't hear them having fucking
assholes
fun
outside
I
having
mean,
fun.
it's
Kids, get off
Get
my
my
lawn.
lawn.
yeah. Spray the hose on you.
What you can do is shut the fuck up and give them a hug.
Who?
Just to comfort the people
Me.
that in your life.
No,
that,
just
that,
me.
Like in Apple, especially Apple and Darwin. No, man.
6 feet, babe.
Like Mel said the other day, she was like, I just want to look in your eyes for 10 minutes. Like, give the people in your life a hug. You don't need to say shit. You don't have to do anything other than be there for them. Be in contact with them. Hold their hand. Give them a hug. Let them know you're there. That's it. That's like the basis of any relationship. All of our communication and words are filler for the connection that we have interpersonally. So if you just shut the fuck up and give them a hug and hold their hand, or put your arm around them when you're watching TV, or little things like that, that kind of stuff says a lot without saying anything.
Yeah.
That's what you can do. So that was my point earlier.
Okay.
I got
and
off
that's
on a
weird because
track.
that's been taken away from us in public. Like at work, I regularly hug just about everybody I work with every day, and customers that are regulars walking, give that a quick hug. Or,
How do you do that in that costume that you wear at work? That's weird. That the whole wizard get up and the genie outfit.
First of all, it's not a costume, so it doesn't make a heart.
Okay. Anyway.
No,
That's in your head, Aaron.
One of my coworkers mentioned that too. Like
Apple's genie costume.
the Apple's genie costume was really troublesome for him.
Am I a genie or I'm a genie wizard now? Wow.
No, just the fact of those small little hugs. Like a lot of people are single. And if you're single and you come to work and your coworker gives you a hug, like, hey, that's the freaking one and only hug you get for the day, or the
like
week,
your human interaction,
or whatever. And so, not being able to hug anybody now, this is weeks on end, and going home to an alone home with no input, and Netflix gets old, Hulu gets old, fucking, a concert gets old, everything gets old when you're on your own by yourself. So just remember that,
Well, then you were like that with
you're
the
by
TV.
yourself?
Don't
What?
no
That's
remember to comfort those that are single or whatever.
Okay.
And what she's saying to the TV thing, like I love TV, but that one reason I love it is it's creating an alternate reality. I want reality to be, we want reality back, our reality. Right now, a lot of people are creating other realities. That's what we do when we entertain ourselves.
Well,
That's a different reality.
I said it too. I was like, I just kind of want to be like stoned through this whole thing, and that's not right either. Like,
and being stone's not as fun
it's not
either
as
when
fun.
you're cooped
It's
up.
not as fun. I haven't been smoking. Well, I have been. I still smoke every day, but like
less.
sometimes
Today I took 2 hits. I took a hit this morning and was like, oh yeah, great way to start, like wake and bake. No, like.
Well, I was all excited the other day. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna wake and bake," and then I did before we walked Darby, but like I don't know, like the enjoyment isn't there.
Look, it's time.
Do you remember when Cameron couldn't drive his dad's car in Ferris Bueller?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he stole it, and he had that fantastic day, but he was still scared. If his dad would have let him have the car, it wouldn't have been the same.
Whoa.
I like that.
Wow. Ferris
That's a
Bueller reference. That's a great analogy.
Because he did. That was a big point of the movie is how stressed Cameron was and how he made himself psychologically sick. Like him laying, in bed too. And Ferris called. He's like, bullshit. I'm on my way.
He's not gonna call. He's gonna call, and he's gonna keep calling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that phrase? He's like, get your piece of shit. And he's like, don't call my car. He's like, hey, I have to admire your piece of shit. I don't even have a piece of shit.
Man, the point of all of this is
we love you.
Slow the fuck down. Take care of the people around you the best way you know how. You don't have to say a word.
Including yourself.
And that includes you. Yep.
But also saying words helps because you need to keep communication going.
The other day when I was, Aaron just like blue light. Melanie said I need to look in my eye. No. Aaron is very active on social media, and he's also very active on the computer when he's at work. And so a lot of the time I literally do not see your eyes, literally, because they're occupied. And
Occupado.
That is something that I need. I need like a real person to look at me back and not, yeah, everything's cool. Yeah, I love it. Here's a side hug. Like, no, I need that. And I know I'm not the only one. So 1, we need to say what we need. And 2, we need to do what we need to.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Boom. That's grandma talking right there. We'll leave it at that.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Here's the deal. We love you, and everything's going to be all right. Sometimes when you feel shitty, you just want somebody to tell you everything's going to be okay. And you know what? I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. It is. It's going to be all right. We're going to be at a show again. We're going to eat dinner at a restaurant again. We're going to go to the movies again. We're going to do all this stuff again. I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
The views of Aaron do not necessarily reflect the views of No Simple Road.
That's right. Ba, ba, ba. But just hang in there, man. It's going to be all right. And we love you guys. And we'll see you soon. And Darwin's tail is knocking on the table. Super fucking loud. So he's happy. If he's happy, you got to be happy.
He heard you wrapping it up and got up and got all excited.
He did.
It's like he knew.
The smartest dog ever, man. This dude.
I was going to be me and Mel both look at each other like, I don't know.
Nice.
Smartest dog in the house.
You said we're going to leave it at that. You said like a whole half an hour after that.
Well, we never leave it just
I would never
that.
leave it at that. That's part of the deal here, man. I'm just going to, you know what I didn't talk about during this whole thing? No, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. We'll see you next week with more stuff. Who's our guest this week? Guys, I have blank stares looking at me.
Mick and Kat and Maria?
No.
Jay
Blakesberg.
Thank you, Apple.
Yeah, see, that's our...
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jay Blakesberg's coming out Tuesday night, Wednesday morning.
He was an awesome, super fun talk.
Yeah.
And this is cool, too. This is like... This happened right at the leading edge of all this. There was still a little bit of air left in the room for us to not talk about it. So you'll get to hear a little snapshot in time.
Well, we got talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just real quick in the beginning,
Yeah.
this hadn't fully exploded yet. It was
Well,
just
we did
started.
that with the other one coming after that, the Mick and Kat and Maria.
Yeah, everybody was been super gracious.
When we're doing interviews, nobody wants to talk about it either. With the interviews, we have more to talk about. With us,
Yes.
it's kind of tougher right now. It's just how, like you said,
Well,
it's
this
how
is
we're
different-
doing.
This is a different show. Anyway,
what we're up to.
we love you guys.
I'm going to make green bean casseroles and scalloped potatoes to go with the nice, beautiful spiral ham. Happy Easter, everybody.
Beep, beep.
Like twist and turn, the mix and turn, and it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hell it means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient. shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarity that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.